Call the Transportation Committee meeting to order for Tuesday, January 13th, 2009. The roll call, Councilman Cloward is absent. The invocation will be led by Councilman Todd Lambert, followed by the pledge.
Thank you, Lord, for allowing us to be here tonight to make some decisions to improve our highways, to keep our citizens safe, allow us to find the fundings to do so. We ask this in your name, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Anyone wishing to speak on any agenda item, please sign in with the Secretary, Ms. Liz. Number 4, Road Department Monthly Report. Ms. Jackie.
For our monthly report for December, we dug 19,285 feet of ditches. We vacuumed 4,266 feet of culverts, and we cut 23 miles of road. And for your use, we've given you annual totals for the entire year of 2008. And if you have any questions, I'd answer those at this time.
Councilman Todd Lambert.
Yeah, Jackie, I want to thank you for giving us the work orders, completed work orders, so we can see where we're at. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Any other discussion? We'll move on to number 5, Road Project Status Update. Jackie.
For our update on Roddy Road Bridge replacement, our right-of-way acquisition is around 65% complete. They've finished the surveys, they've gotten their entry letters from the residents affected, and those offer letters, those actual offer letters, are being finalized at this time. So those are going to go out here shortly, and depending on the response from those, we'll either be closing on property or expropriating if need be. For Westworthy Road widening, the last phase of that right-of-way acquisition is 85% complete, and there's 8 parcels remaining to acquire. And I will say that I was recently informed that the last parcel from the previous phase we thought was going to close is in a succession. So it's got some loose ends to tie up. That's what Lindsay Mandan Legal are working on at this time. For the Roddy Road widening 621 to 931, the right-of-way acquisition is 20% complete. Those maps are being finalized at this time so they can move forward with the appraisals and those offer letters. For Mere Road Bridge replacement, the actual structure's in the yard, and our crews are working on mobilizing with the rain and finishing some small projects. Mr. Ronnie anticipates in the next 2 weeks we'll be actively working on that if weather permits. So we should have Mere Road right in line to be finished before Roddy Road bridges are ready to bid.
Great.
The 2004 intersection program, the DOTD permits that were received on those 3 roads, 929 at Airline and 621 at Airline and Roddy at Airline, I'm very, very pleased to say that we've advertised, as of this week, it's on the web, for a right-of-way consultant to be selected through the new selection committee for right-of-way acquisition at Roddy Road at Airline. So that'll be our first selection through the selection committee, and that'll be our first high-priority right-of-way acquisition to start the year off.
Great.
932 at 933 intersection improvement. We still need our traffic signal permit, but we will be moving forward with a right-of-way acquisition advertisement on that after we go through our Roddy Road at Airline. This will be the next right-of-way acquisition that we start. For the 2007 in-house road reconstruction program that's set to be complete April 2nd, we're approximately 20% complete now. Given the weather conditions, it's hit and miss on how quickly we get things done. The 2007 intersection widening project, phase 1, that's Elwyn Dewey and Van Broussard and Duplessis, is also approximately 20% complete. Phase 2, which DOTD permits were received, Swamp at Perkins, Henry Road at 73, and Seabrook at Bluff, the right-of-way acquisition is approximately 35% complete. They're anticipating to be completed with that no later than March. And Phase 3, the 429 turn lane onto 431, we had a pre-construction conference at DOTD January 7th, and their contractors should be mobilized in the next 2 to 3 weeks. And our 431 turn lane on Gold Place, Evans Graves addressed DOTD comments at November 25th, and I'm still trying to get them to reply back to those comments. Does anyone have any questions?
Just checking on 42 and 929. What's the next step after that in the time frame?
I'm sorry, I skipped that one. 42 at 929, we submitted a permit. We're going back and forth with DOTD. We were going to construct the turn lane on 42. And if DOTD really aggressively moves forward with 42 improvements, we may be wasting monies on that improvement. By the time we get a turn lane down, depending on the scheduling. So I'm trying to get from DOTD a true timeline of what do they think they're going to have on 42. I wouldn't want us to spend a lot of money on a turn lane and then rip it up.
Well, true, but I mean, could we possibly incorporate it into the design of the 42 widening?
We would need to acquire more right away, which is not in the budget for that little, this is kind of a small project, squeezing in the right of way that's there and doing another 12-foot lane and a turn lane, the right of way and the ditch. The right of way costs are going to get much larger than our budget. So that's what we're looking at right now, going back and forth with DOTD on that.
Parish President?
Yes, I talked to the project manager on that, and basically was told what Jackie told you. He did give me some good news that they are going to do the EIS, and they also can start on the plans on it, which is something that the Federal Highway Administration doesn't do very often. So that will hopefully expedite it. And we also plan on having meetings with DOTD every 2 months on that project, and hopefully we can expedite it and get something moving on it. So I just kind of wanted to give you that update too. So.
Well, that sounds good. I appreciate the update on 42. I'd certainly like to be invited and go with you as well to DOTD if I can. Thanks.
Any other questions? I have just one, Miss Jackie. Highway 932 at 933, the structure, the house and the shop. Do you have anything on that as far as they will be relocated or?
The next phase, when we go to selection committee after we get this first one down, the right-of-way consultant that's selected, that's going to be in their scope.
Okay.
To look into relocation assistance, and if it's, meets the criteria for relocation, that will be up in their scope of work to complete. So I can't answer the question yet. I don't have the answer.
That's good. You're good, Parish.
This is not on your report, but may want to take some official action on Roddy Road. As you all know, Roddy Road is a parish road, then it turns into a state road, and then it goes back to a parish road. There's been a lot of accidents in some of those intersections, especially at Merritt Evans. I'd like to ask this committee to send a resolution for the council to consider about maybe doing a road swap there where we can make Roddy Road, a parish road all the way through. And I think as we develop our plans to improve Roddy Road from Airline to 42, this would be good. And we've looked at some locations that could possibly be a swap, Germany Road being one, and one other one. Jackie, what was it? Black Bayou Extension, possibly? No, you don't like that one?
I vividly remember Germany, but I don't remember Black Bayou.
I think Black Bayou Extension could be another one, and I'd asked them to go out and measure those two, and they basically come up very close. Is that correct? So, and I've also spoke to Mr. Gordon Nelson about it. Dempsey and I had went and met with some people at the corner of Merritt Evans, and we tried to get it to where they would put a three-way stop there, but they said it didn't warrant it. So I think if we can take some action to that effect, I think we can assume Roddy Road all the way through, but I want it to be a swap. I don't want it to be just us taking over a state road.
That's a good idea. Appreciate all the work on that. Would y'all mind going in and sending a resolution so we can act on that?
You ready to move on it now, Pat?
I'm ready.
I have no problem with it.
Yeah, I'll make that in the form of a
Do we
motion.
know what we're going to swap it for, though? I mean, that's the only, I mean, I have no problem with it, but
What is it?
do we
I
just
think
gonna
if
authorize
you just send a
administration?
resolution and we can negotiate with the Department of Transportation on it.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
sounds good.
Motion by Councilman Law, second by Councilman Todd Lambert. Send a resolution to DOTD for possible road swap. Anyone, any more discussion on it? If none, motion passed. We're gonna pass on item number 6. Number 7, change order number 1 for Gulf Industries pavement marking in the amount of $11,396.10 for the 2008 RS 01 striping project. Jackie?
This addition to the striping project is a result of several months ago when this committee decided to add Roddy Road striping here right at Airline and some other striping to an existing striping project. We did that as a result of, different
So moved,
reasons.
Mr.
I
Chairman.
second that.
Moved by Councilman Benny Johnson, second by Councilman Todd Lambert. Any other discussion? None, motion passed. Number 8, the supplemental agreement number 1 with GSA for completion of Highway 44 sidewalk transportation enhancement project in the amount of $30,590. Jackie?
This has a lot of history to this project, so I'll try to keep it concise. There was a transportation enhancement grant that was awarded several years ago. The grant estimate is now outdated. The budget for the project completion is much larger. We were awarded this money and then given additional monies to finish the project. Looking at the plans and what DOTD said it takes to finish the project, the scope of work GSA was given doesn't finish the project. But we've already spent, Ms. Martha may know, we've already spent money with GSA to get these plans to where they are. And the preliminary plans are done, the final plans are 90%. I would hate to see us waste all of what we put into the project this far. In order for us to finish the sidewalk project on 44, we need this $30,591 addition to GSA's contract to just complete the project out. There is, and just so you're aware, there was a second sidewalk project, transportation enhancement project for LA1 that was kind of thrown in this project. We have since taken that out of GSA's scope. We're going to do that project in-house and just close out this LA 44 project, keep it totally separate. So that's why I'm asking your recommendation to approve this this supplemental agreement.
And the amount is the $17,341?
It's $30,591. What we did, there is a inspection fee on this detailed estimate GSA has. This if you add the 17,000, the 2,500, the 3,250,
Okay.
and then the 7,500, you'll get this 30,000. What we removed from their proposal is a resident inspector. That could get up to $75,000.
We're
And we
doing it
felt like
in-house?
we could do that
Great.
in-house.
I'll make the
So
motion.
we removed
moved.
that.
Motion by Councilman Chris Law,
I'll second it.
second by Councilman Benny Johnson. Any discussion?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Johnson?
Miss Jackie, this is just to finish the plans. This is not for construction costs, correct?
There are some documents DOTD requires, and it's called 2059 document preparation, and some clearances that are involved with the construction, but this gets us through the final plan phase and those required DOTD documents that they are familiar with doing. So some of it does overlap into construction, but not the inspection.
But I mean, once we finish with this, we're not gonna start building the sidewalks, or are we? Do we have the funding to go ahead and do that?
We have in the budget, the way, and Ms. Martha's here because she has a lot more information on it, but we have in the budget $100 and something thousand for this project. It was brought to my attention that we pay 100% engineering fees, but DOTD, although it's a reimbursable, we get reimbursed 100% of construction. Ms. Martha's nodding. So they will pay all of construction, we pay all of engineering. And we have more than we needed in the budget for this item.
Okay.
Parish President?
On enhancement grants, that's what I was basically gonna explain. They're good, you apply for them, could be signs even, welcome to Ascension Parish, could be sidewalks, could be, as long as it has some public value on a public highway, or it connects to public entities, those are the things, bike trails, that are high on the list. And I don't know if we are applying for any more enhancement grants at this point, but generally you pay the engineering and construction cost is paid by DOTD. So it's a good program. They get, I used to get $8 or $10 million a year for it, and then it's competitive. So hopefully we can continue applying and getting these type grants for walking trails. You could do that, bike trails, whatever.
This year will be that it will be open, it's only on odd years that you can apply, so this year we'll be applying for a new grant.
Okay, what is that? What grant?
Does it say where it's going?
On what project?
We haven't
It
decided.
says 4.4, but it doesn't say where on 4.4.
Y'all got some
But yeah,
ideas?
grants, looking, we're gonna propose some projects.
Okay.
Councilman Lambert?
Yeah, Ms. Jackie, and this is back all the way from April of '06?
Yes. The original application, I think, was done in
And
'05.
what is the holdup on this project? Why are we coming now with some new engineering fees after 3 years?
It's my understanding, and I have limited understanding, that DOTD says, yes, you can do it, but that doesn't mean they have the money immediately available. And Ms. Martha can explain why we're waiting, but I was under the impression when we first got plans done, the funds were not available. Is that correct?
So if we approve this engineering, is the project gonna take place right away?
It should, because the funds
Should.
have been, we were awarded a letter stating that we were granted X amount of dollars. I don't have the funds with, the numbers with me. But, and that has been set aside by DOTD for this project. So we start the project, fund it, and then we send the reimbursement in, and those funds are there for that project.
Is this all the paperwork we have on this project, or do we have more that we can look at?
There's an agreement, a city-state agreement that's been signed that Ms. Martha could get,
I'd
that
like to
she
get a
showed
copy of that.
me.
It's
Also,
been going on for several years. There were some issues, hold up through DOTD. There was some other issues that were dealt with in DPW that has just gone on for a while. Mr. Bob had taken it over, and we were revamping, trying to get it upgraded. And then Mr. Bob left, and so we're just back, we're trying to get it to a point where we can actually start the project. The information, everything is there now. Jackie's done a great job on trying to pull from the DPW standpoint of what we require. DOTD says we're ready as soon as the documentation goes, and that's what she's asking for, is the additional funds to go ahead and have the plans completed, to be approved. They've already done a walk,
Plan in hand.
plan in hand. I don't know the terminology.
Okay.
Well, Ms.
So there's most of it's done.
Martha, would you put in the packets,
Yeah.
if we can get that information and put it in the packets for Thursday night?
Sure, I'll get it.
Or whenever, when are you gonna vote on this, the following,
Probably
the
the following.
February meeting?
It-
Would you have it?
It's
Okay.
scheduled for Finance Committee on Thursday, if you want it to still be on Finance Committee. Is it on Finance? It is on Finance Committee for Thursday, their agenda. If you want it then, or if you want to defer it till February, I'm okay with whatever you guys.
Okay, Councilman Law?
Just wanted to ask Martha, maybe for the next meeting, or if you want to just email us or something, but I'd like to know all the different transportation enhancement grants that we've applying for besides this one as well.
There's only been two. that I'm aware, that we actually have open. 44, and then there was an LA one, which is now being taken over by the staff, or DPW, in-house.
Well-
That you couldn't apply last year because they only allow applications in odd years. So this year will be an opportunity to do transportation enhancement.
If
They
you-
have landscaping, there are numerous programs that are done through this. So I'll be happy to get the
If you go to,
different categories of which can be applied. We had talked to Mr. Grant, and we're going to supply him with different inquiries that have offered would like to have this proposed, and then we'll go through the selection and come up with something to apply for.
you can look on the DOTD website, and it has an enhancement program. It'll tell you what, about the whole program. It's a good,
Great.
site to look at.
Yeah, I definitely want to explore it. I want to make sure we're doing as much, this year, as much as we can.
The kicker is that all the engineering costs and everything associated other than the construction is paid by the parish. So there's a budget
Sure.
part of this that we have to make sure that whoever the agency is has those funds in the budget to match it.
Yeah. Still seems like a good deal, though, and something we need to pursue, so.
So this engineering hasn't been done yet, correct?
Yes.
That's
they-
my question.
They went, they
Since
went
we've been
up,
06,
they finished plans.
when?
They did a plan in hand when Mr. Bob first got here, May '07.
Did we get a copy of that also? Mm-hmm. As far as their scope of work and what they did? Mm-hmm. Okay.
And so they took those plans, did a plan in hand, and DOTD had comments. Those comments were being addressed, and in that phase of getting things addressed is when we realized we needed to do more work to get them finished. But the plans are 90%, 95% done.
So this is not the total amount of what engineering cost?
That's correct.
And
This
I'd
is-
like to see the total
Okay.
on this project also. That's all I got, Mr. Chairman.
Any other discussion on enhancement grant? And this will take care of, from Highway 621 to Airline Highway?
It's like 8,500 feet of
Okay.
sidewalk.
Okay, any other discussion? None? Motion passed. Number 9, no parking sign on Whitestone Avenue in Cobblestone subdivision.
This request came through Councilman Valentine at the request of a bus driver. It's at a specific T location where she can't turn around in the morning. We recommend that.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Moved by Councilman Todd Lambert, second by Councilman Benny Johnson. Any other discussion? None, motion passed. Number 10, no parking sign at Windmill Drive on Plantation Creek subdivision.
This is again another back part of the subdivision. Bus driver can't turn around, also in Councilman Valentine's district.
Moved by Councilman Todd Lambert, second by Councilman Benny Johnson. Any other discussion? None, motion passed. No parking sign on Sugar Mill Drive on Old Mill subdivision.
Same
Same.
situation.
So moved by Councilman Todd Lambert, second by Councilman Benny Johnson. No discussion, motion passed. Number 12, roads to be accepted into the parish maintenance system.
We need to do these, I think, one at a time. We'll do one subdivision at a time. First, we have East Creek Villas with a total of 2,223 feet. Keasley Drive, Tanya Drive, and Bailey Drive. We have no comments on those streets.
So
They're-
moved, Mr. Chairman, on these three.
Moved by Councilman Todd Lambert,
Second.
second by Councilman Chris Law. Any other discussion? None, motion passed.
Next, we have Keystone of Galvez first filing, parts 3 and 4. These include Timberstone Drive, Baystone Avenue, and Cedarstone Avenue.
So moved.
Moved by Councilman,
So, talk to the contractor, we just want to put a stipulation in the developer. They had several signs got stolen, there was no activity in the subdivision. We got back with him and talked to him, he ordered his signs. We just want to put a stipulation in the minutes that he has to have his signs up before we take it in the parish maintenance system.
Make that motion with that amendment.
Yes.
Motion by Councilman Chris Law, second by Councilman Todd Lambert. Any other discussion?
Mr. Chairman, I see where this is first filing, and going by what we've talked about in the past, or is there the ability for this to come back and do a second or later filing on this? And if so, is there ability for them to put in a construction entrance?
Yes, sir. They have a construction interest in it.
Okay.
All the discussion, motion pass.
Airline Plaza Business Place, Airline Plaza Place, this is a cleanup item, gentlemen. This has been done since, '02. The bond's been in place. It's just went through whatever hands it went through that we didn't bring it up to you. Just to take in the parish maintenance system, we even looked at it, the bond was outdated since '02. We just want to get it in the parish maintenance system, official on the record.
Kind of shape the road there.
Perfect concrete street.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Moved by Councilman Todd Lambert, second by Councilman Benny Johnson. Any other discussion? None, motion pass.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion by Councilman Chris Law, second by Councilman
put all the signs up.
Todd
The
Lambert to
poles.
adjourn. Thank you.
The poles. He had 5 signs he had to order.